Do you guys want to be free? Let's go fly. Our normal area to fly is that tree over there, but the weather is looking really nice. There's a lot of other little local birds out and about, so I'm actually gonna let them out over here and see if we can hike over there. It's been a while since they've been out, so they're probably gonna be really excited to fly. Briar's up in that tree right there. So we're walking over to our normal tree. Cedar's right here. Come on, bud. Hey, welcome. Oh, you guys enjoy the sunset. Nice day. I just love watching them in the trees. They're so pretty. And they get to chew on leaves. And they get to have fun. What do you think, Cedar? Good girl. Good girl. Walk around. Enjoy the sunset. Briar's sitting on his cage over there. Hey, Pink! Come on! Good job! Good boy! Good job! Good boy! Being a free flyer, you sure do spend a lot of time on the ground, huh, little Cedar? This is what we like to practice every time before we go flying and throughout our flying session. We just practice going in and out of the crate. Oh, come on, bud! Cedar. Good girl. Good job. So she goes into the crate, she gets a treat, then we just practice coming back out. And that gives them a really good relationship with our crate, and it's easy at the end of the day when we're done flying. Oh, we gotta be careful because there's a couple of dogs over there. We've been out flying for just about 45 minutes. Sun's setting, so we're gonna go ahead and pack them up and go home. You guys have fun? What do you think? All right, let's go. We're ready to pack up. I also have a special treat for them. I almost never give them pineapple, but I bought them some pineapple today as a treat. So let's see if they like it. Skeeter's ready to go in for some pineapple. I think he likes it. Ooh, is that good? Skeeter's got her little piece. Successful fly day. Okay, so we're back home. It's actually the next day, but I just wanted to kind of share something. So we're about to have another cold front. Florida's been getting a ton of cold fronts. Usually I'll leave the birds outside if it's above about 45 degrees, give or take. If it gets much colder than that, I don't really feel comfortable, especially if it gets down into the 30s. Just because it's too risky to leave them out in the cold. So I just want to share a little something. So some of the carriers that I'm using to bring the birds inside, they're super simple. They're very small. Not anything you'd want to keep a bird in for a long period of time, just because they're not really the best. But it works for a night or two, just until we get over this cold front. But I wanted to share. So it's pretty common knowledge. Ooh, sorry guys. We just got food. Among bird care, it's pretty common knowledge that you really don't want to use dowel perches. So something that I'll do with my dowel perches, this right here is a dowel perch. This is just a super cheap cage that I bought at Petco. I'm literally just using it for a night as a carrier, just to keep the birds inside, get them warm, keep them safe. But again, since it was such a cheap cage, it did come with a dowel perch. Now dowel perches are not good for birds' feet, especially long term. One night probably wouldn't have a huge impact, but I just don't like having dowel perches because it's not good for their feet. Their feet are made to go on things that have different variation in textures and sizes, so natural branches. So what I did with this dowel perch, if you can see here, I actually took like a little wood chisel, like, here, I'll show you what I used. I took this little wood chisel here, and I chiseled down, and it's okay to leave these little flakes because the birds can chew on that, just to change the texture a little bit, just making it have a little bit of difference in the diameter and things like that. This also does have a sand perch in it. These sand perches, similarly to dowel perches, are not good long term. Short term, not a big deal. You just also want to make sure they're not the highest perch in the cage. The dowel perch is ever so slightly higher than it, just because you don't want them spending like hours and hours and hours on it. Again, one night, it's not going to cause that big of a problem, but I just wanted to show that if you guys do have any dowel perches, something you can do just to make sure. Just to add some texture to it. If you want to use a dowel perch, you can just get one of these little handy dandy tools to chisel out some different shapes to kind of make it a little bit natural. Another thing you can do as well, if I don't have any perches, what I did in here was, this is just a natural tree branch. So this is from an oak tree that we have in our backyard. Oak trees are completely safe for birds. Now, I always try and pull from the tree directly. I never want to pull. I try not to pull from any branches off the ground. Anything that's really old, I try and go for the living branches. Just because anything on the ground, it might have like dog pee on it, or just other nasty stuff, or raccoon pee on it. Stuff that you don't really want to give your bird. But this was from high up in a tree. So I pulled it down. It was alive and I pulled it down. Also, it has a little bit of foliage for the bird to chew on. Again, this is not a long-term setup, but I just want to talk about the perches a little bit. But you can see how much different texture and variety there is on there. There's also this down here. So you can see how these natural perches have that different texture and variety. If a bird is sitting on a perch that has no texture or variety for too long, like a dell perch that hasn't been altered, what can end up happening is they can actually start to get sores on their feet after a while. So if you ever see a bird that has sores on their feet, usually it's because they've been sitting on a perch that doesn't offer a lot of different texture or variety for a really long time. It can just be really super uncomfortable. It can give them arthritis. It can do all kinds of nasty stuff. So it's just better to give them a good variety, and natural perches are always a good option. So it also doesn't hurt to wash them off. Again, this perch right here came up from high in a tree, so it's a little bit cleaner than anything you're gonna find on the ground. But I always rinse them off just to be safe, and clean them off just to make sure there's nothing funky on there. Although for my free flyers, whatever's high up in the tree, they're already encountering. Hi guys. So, yep, just wanted to share that. Also, since it's so cold, I'm also gonna go ahead and grab some snacks for the wild birds, which I'm sure that they will enjoy, just to help keep their calories up, give them something to snack on as well. So this is just a super simple DIY bird feeder that I set up. I've only filled it up like once or twice. Once actually. Oh, and I just missed everything. I don't think I can do this with one hand. But I was super excited to put this up. I thought I had made something super cute. Literally last time I filled it up for like an hour before the squirrels came in and completely raided it and dumped everything on the ground, which is fine. I don't mind that the squirrels enjoy this food as well. I just wish that they didn't dump it on the ground. So I did change where it was located and tied up. So hopefully that'll work. And if not, maybe one day I'll have to invest in an actual bird feeder. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and just fill this up and see how it works. Okay, bird feeders are full. We'll see if they last any amount of time without the squirrels tearing them up. But if they do, then I guess they do. I just hope some of the wild birds get to enjoy, but if not, then not. But if you've watched this far, thanks for hanging out, and I hope you have a wonderful day.